In the past year or so, I've probably received about 50 cold calls from different companies trying to sell their products or services to me. And I do have to say, I have bought three things from these individuals trying to contact me to set up an appointment to move me to the next step to buy their service. And sometimes I wonder, are these people a little nervous to call a cold call company? Do they think they're going to be judged a little extra because of it? Well, these fearless people who have called have either gotten a next appointment, they have sold me, or they've gotten a not interested or even sometimes hung up on. So it's interesting because just 2 weeks ago, I had a cold call who successfully set up an appointment with me. And usually that doesn't happen, I will say. But this individual had got me at somewhat of a good time. I had some questions about this particular topic stirring in my head over the past couple of months. And this individual did a particularly good job moving me through a very small conversation and then setting up the next conversation for another date and time. So this girl who called me worked for an IT company. And as a call team, we have a lot of call desks, we have a lot of computers and some security. So usually I don't really take these kind of calls, but I had some thoughts going through my head over the last few weeks. So when this girl called me, she had introduced herself, had spoke a little bit about what they do, and immediately I had asked her a question that was a little bit skeptic. Well, you guys can't really work with this type of system. And she's like, well, that's actually not the point of today's call. We have a variety of options with our particular company, so the whole point is to set up another time to meet with Carly. And I thought, okay, but I don't really think this is going to work because what's the point? I don't really want to meet face to face. She's like, well, you don't have to meet face to face. It's a 10-minute call, and she knows everything about that topic specifically. So how about next Friday? Would that be an okay time at say 11? Damn. I just said yes. It was funny, after I set up the appointment with Carly, I looked back at the conversation, I was like, man, I really have to remember what happened here. Because in the very beginning of the conversation, she had walked me through some introductory steps about her business, and it's almost as if I didn't remember it, and I didn't have any trouble with it. And I thought that was so amazing, because that's how a cold call should feel to the person on the other end. I try not to judge cold callers and kind of be, guard my space or whatever and be hard on them or even be easy on them. I try to take a neutral stance and let myself experience that. And this is what had happened. She had brought me through and I barely remembered it. And by the end I had said yes, but I was happy about it. I was like, all right, maybe this will help solve my issue. And that's how a cold call should feel. And it was great to actually experience that on the receiving end after making so many outbound calls. Well, on the flip side, just yesterday, and why I made this video is because I got a call from a local area code to the Philadelphia area. I was like, who could this be? Didn't say spam or anything like that. I picked up the call, and there was about a 2-second pause. You guys know where this is going, right? And sure enough, a robot answered. Hi, you have been selected for an 8-day Carnival cruise extravaganza around the world at any location you would like. Please select 1 to claim your offer. Click. Out of here. That was probably the opposite as you could get to that first cold call that set up something with me. Right? They were actually trying to sell their service to me for a price and not even asking or offering anything special, just that they could help me. And this other robot called me on this side and offered me the world for free. But I hung up within 2 seconds. And the people who are probably running those marketing campaigns with that robot had probably thought, yeah, no one can pass this up. If we say free offer, if we say cruise around the world for 8 days, then how could you possibly deny that? It's like giving them $2,000 cash. I don't know, man. All I know is whatever you're trying to get me into, there's some type of scam. Or at least that's how it feels. So the difference between human sales and this robotic kind of automated system is, I think, the reason why our business exists. Human to human lead generation has been our tagline from the beginning. And our new startup that is branching out from Paris marketing, Superhuman prospecting, coming soon, is an extension of that, and that message of human to human lead generation, bringing the human element to the sales process to help build trust and to help people solve their problems.